Cape's leader, sports radio play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod. Chatham A's baseball, sports radio play-by-play. Let's go A's! Wooden bats through the fog playing under the lights. The stars of tomorrow shine tonight. No one else can beat them. Come on out and see them. Chatham A's baseball, summertime on Cape Cod.
311 dormant days at Veterans Field have led us to this. The grass is mowed, the lights are on, and the stage is set. Tonight, the Falmouth Commodores make the trip across the Cape for opening day. 2 new managers, 2 entirely new teams, and limitless possibilities. Opening day of the 2025 Cape League season begins right now. Alongside Jake Klein, I'm Hudson Ridley. And Jake, like we said just earlier, this is the first time we're getting to take a look at 2 new managers. Jared Saltalamacchia on one side, Dennis Cook on the other for Chatham. 2 MLB veterans now taking their positions on the Cape.
And 2 Hall of Fame, I should say 2 World Series champions as well. Hudson, Dennis Cook in '97 with the Marlins, Jared Saltalamacchia 2013 with the Red Sox, and both, of course, in their first seasons here on the Cape. But important to note, both also served as assistant coaches here before.
Exactly right. Jared Saltalamacchia with Falmouth and Dennis Cook in Chatham was the pitching coach and has now returned as manager of the Anglers. You mentioned 2 guys with very high pedigrees when it comes to their play in MLB. But for the guys on the field who will take the field today, that first step is just starting now in the collegiate ranks. A couple of guys to keep your eye out for today. In the transfer portal, the #1 name to know, Henry Ford, batting 3rd in the lineup. He's really the name to know, Jay.
There's a reason he's the #1 player in the transfer portal after his sophomore season at Virginia. Highly coveted. His name also in the MLB draft pool this summer. But the question for Chatham, can it finally advance beyond that first round of the playoffs? Took a big step last year, got back to the playoffs for the first time since 2019. Now the question is, can Chatham take that next step?
2 long championship droughts for either side. For Chatham, it's been since 1998 since getting that championship ring.
And Falmouth since 1980.
Exactly. The 2 longest droughts in the Cape Cod Baseball League. The first step to ending those droughts would have to come today. On the bump, as we'll mention in a little bit, for Chatham, JT Quinn making the first start for the first season. Really an important name to know as we continue to go through that. You'll hear Dennis Cook mention that in a little bit, but before that, we have the name we mentioned previous, Henry Ford, #1 player in the portal on Catch of the Day. Coming up right after this break, we talk everything. Lobster rolls, Cape Cod, Charlottesville. You're not going to want to miss it when Anglers Live returns.
Sports radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC.
Chatham Bars Inn is Cape Cod's premier 4-diamond oceanfront resort. With 217 luxurious rooms, guests have access to numerous amenities, including a private beach, complimentary children's programs, 4 award-winning restaurants, a new world-class spa, an outdoor pool, and tennis courts. Year after year, Chatham Bars Inn is recognized as one of the top resorts in the world. Chatham Bars Inn and Cape Cod Baseball. Summer fun for the whole family.
Welcome back to the Anglers Extra pregame show for the first catch of the day. Henry Ford, outfielder, coming to Chatham for the first time. It's a rainy day, so we're inside of the dugout. Have you gotten to experience the town at all before now?
Yes, I got to walk around for a couple of days, which was awesome. Incredible town, super beautiful. Loved all the places I've gotten to eat so far. had a lobster roll for the first time, which was awesome. I loved it. It's just been a great experience so far.
First lobster roll. Your thoughts so far on it?
Yeah, I thought it was incredible. It was a lot of lobster on a small bun, so I was kind of having trouble eating it, but it was really good.
Obviously, not a lot of lobster in Charlottesville, Virginia, where you're from. Charlottesville, born and raised. Now, obviously, coming out to Chatham, that's a little bit far from home. How have you been adjusting?
Yeah, no, I've had, great people around me. Great host mom, great host family, a lot of great people in the organization, which have made it really easy. And the town is just super supportive. You go to the gas station before the game, and everybody's telling us good luck. And, it's just been an awesome experience so far. They made it a lot easier.
Staying in Charlottesville for a while, for a lot of your life growing up, you were kind of highly touted through that start. And your coach, Brian O'Connor, at UVA, now he's at Mississippi State. But while he was recruiting at UVA, he found you pretty early, didn't he?
He did. Yeah, I committed my freshman year at high school, and it was an easy decision. I mean, I'd grown up there. I'd always wanted to play for the University of Virginia. I mean, I went to my first game when I was 6 months old. My grandpa would take me all the time. Just a lot of great memories at that place, and it was just an incredible 2 years there.
So baseball really a part of your life early on, especially. I mean, your uncle played at UVA as well. You kind of have that family connection. Baseball, a big part of your life for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. I got introduced to baseball pretty early. I started playing t-ball when I was 2 years old. My dad had to fight the league to get me to play at such a young age. But yeah, I've always had a love for it. I've always had big aspirations and big goals in my career, and I just kind of fell in love with it from an early age.
And now those aspirations, they almost seem to kind of be in view as you get throughout your career, and your name is still in the MLB draft currently. When you look towards the future, what do you see for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of confidence in myself, my goals are to, not only play in the big leagues, but to win in the big leagues. I want to win multiple World Series. I want to play at the highest level. I want to compete at the highest level, and I want to win at that level. That's why I play the game. That's why I love it. So I definitely have big goals for sure.
And that really kind of all starts here now in college and as you continue on. Right now in Chatham, how do you get off to the best start today and get your team on the right path?
100%. I think it's just, playing for the team and, really just being a good teammate and, coming up and, having a plan on what you want to work on and what you want to get better at and, just trying to execute that every day and, just enjoying the guys, enjoying the coaches, surrounded by great people. So, just trying to have as much fun with it as I can and, help the team win in any way I can.
Henry Ford, the first catch of the day of 2025. Still plenty more to come on the Anglers Extra pregame show with Jake Klein.
That's right, Hudson, and what an interesting situation Henry Ford finds himself in this summer. He will leave Charlottesville really for the first time in his life after transferring away from Virginia, where he spent 2 years, a native of Charlottesville, played summer ball in Charlottesville before his freshman year at UVA. He's a Charlottesville lifer. Now his coach, Brian O'Connor, departs to go to Mississippi State. He's a top 75 draft prospect as well. Hudson, a lot of places where Henry Ford could take his baseball career from here.
Exactly. There's really endless possibilities for him. He could be drafted, as you mentioned, top 75. He's one of the top listed first basemen, even though he will play in center field tonight. And then, of course, like you mentioned, those possibilities all do mean leaving Charlottesville, something he has really never done in his collegiate career, over the summer, in his, like you said, Little League life. This is what it's been for him. That's been Charlottesville.
Sure has, and he will man center field tonight, a position he played only once in his collegiate career so far.
Anglers Extra pregame show coming up. We got Dennis Cook for the Manager's Show, the first of the season. You're not going to want to miss it.
Sweet Tomatoes Pizza, located right around the corner from Veterans Field at 790 Main Street in Chatham. Pick up a pie on your way to the game or grab a calzone before first pitch. The dough for their specialty pizza is rolled right before your eyes. Eat in or take out, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and sometimes later. Call 508-348-0200. See their full menu online at sweettomatoscapecod.com. Sweet Tomatoes, a Chatham pregame tradition.
Welcome back to the Anglers Extra pregame show. Opening day upon us as Chatham hosts Falmouth. And before the first contest of 2025, it's the first manager's show of 2025 and the first of the Dennis Cook era. Dennis, welcome back to Chatham.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here.
Opening day, what do those two words mean to you?
Well, it's always an exciting day for everybody, the coaches and the players alike. We're excited to be here. We wish the weather was a little bit better, but hey, it is what it is.
When you look at the makeup of your squad through the first couple of days of practice, what stands out?
I think what really stands out is how well the kids are getting along and how much fun they seem to be having. Usually takes a little bit of time to gel. I know in the teams in the past, but these guys seem to be friends already, and I like it. I think that's a good thing.
You talk about your experience already, having served 4 years as Chatham's pitching coach. What did you learn in those 4 years that you can take into year one as manager?
I just think a lot of roster management was the main thing that I saw Tom dealing with a lot, and tried to do a couple things different just to try to eliminate so much turnover in the roster.
That's a problem that seems like all summer ball coaches at every level are facing. How do you manage so many faces coming in and out and try to keep one collective team throughout a whole summer?
We actually, a lot of the kids, especially from the pitching staff, we recruited a lot of young kids with minimal innings, and a lot of their coaches want them to stay up here all summer. At least that's what they've said, whenever I signed them, they wanted them to be up here all summer and working and getting some innings in. So that's kind of the way we approached it. Young guys with not a lot of innings, and hopefully they'll stay up here all summer and get better.
You turn to one of your older pitchers tonight in J.T. Quinn from Georgia. What do you like about his presence on the mound?
I like that he had a 2.25 ERA in the SEC. He's going to be a strike thrower. I think he's going to do a good job. He'll compete hard. He's a draft-eligible kid that's up here, pitching to try to better his draft status. So I expect him to be good.
Do you think there is something to be said for draft-eligible players in the Cape League who have a short chance to make a name for themselves?
I do. I think early in the year it's good to have a few of those guys. It doesn't hurt to have a few of those guys for sure. And they're older kids, so they can come out and throw early in the season and kind of set the tone for the younger kids.
On the Manager's Show with Chatham manager Dennis Cook before the A's open the season against the Falmouth Commodores. Dennis, only 10 position players with you guys right now. Is that a concern at all?
It's always a concern. I'd like to have another one or two, but I think we'll be okay. We have multiple guys that can play multiple positions, and then we got another kid coming in Monday for Monday's game. So if we can get through today and tomorrow, I feel pretty good about it.
How do you feel like new players who come to Cape Cod for the first time, may not know what to expect, have to adjust to this atmosphere, this community, this league?
I just think baseball's baseball. They're here to play baseball, and I think anything else they get out of the experience, and they'll get a lot. They'll get a lot out of the experience. New teammates that they'll be friends with throughout the season, and then when they go on to play pro ball, in the minor leagues, and then hopefully when they get to the big leagues, they'll be able to see each other and remember the summer they had here at Chatham. But the common denominator is baseball.
Baseball in Chatham starts tonight, 7 o'clock. First pitch coming right up on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Dennis, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Send it back up to Hudson Ridley for the rest of the Anglers Extra pregame show.
That's the first time you really get to hear from Dennis Cook as the manager of the Chatham Anglers. 15 years of MLB experience, a World Series champion, but now his first game as manager of the Anglers. And what I thought he said that was very interesting was the fact that some of these players, he's expecting them to be around for a lot longer. That's the way he recruited.
It's been a real struggle for Chatham over the last 5 years trying to keep guys in town. Over 70 players have come through in some of these recent summers. It's an interesting approach from Dennis Cook, a new one, but you have to try new things in this new era of college sports. And I like the idea of Dennis Cook going out, getting young pitchers with not a lot of innings and trying to keep them around for a longer period of time.
He's going to have to supplement it with even better offense, and that offense today is presented in our lineups by Chatham Clothing Bar. Jake, the Chatham lineup.
Well, the Chatham lineup starts with the second baseman out of Texas, Ethan Mendoza. He leads off. Jake Hanley, the first baseman from Indiana, bats second. Henry Ford, center fielder from Virginia, hits third. And Isaiah Lane, righty hitting shortstop from San Diego, cleans up. Daniel Jackson, the lone Chatham returner in the lineup. He's the left fielder from Georgia, batting fifth. Jackson Freeman, the right fielder from Northwestern, sixth. And Noah Miller, the Michigan catcher, hits seventh. Cole Johnson is the designated hitter from Austin P, basically an exclusive DH for the Governors this spring. He hits eighth, and Travis Sanders, the Baylor third baseman, hits ninth. For the visiting Falmouth Commodores, they'll hit first in the top of the first. Carl Schmidt, third baseman from Cal, leads off. Then Adrian Lopez, the shortstop from USC. Kent Schmidt, the first baseman from Georgia Tech, bats third. He's got no relation to Carl Schmidt, the leadoff hitter. David McCann, catcher from Virginia Tech, cleans up. Then Micah New, the center fielder from Marshall, and John Smith III, left fielder from South Alabama. And the bottom third of the Falmouth order, under manager Jared Saltalamacchia, is Justin Osterhaus, second baseman from Purdue Fort Wayne, Coleman Mizell, the DH from Alabama, and Antonio Morales, the right fielder from Wake. Here's Hudson Ridley with the Red Nun Bar and Grill pitching matchup.
JT Quinn on the mound for Chatham today. Big right-hander, 6'6", 210, high 90s fastball with a slider, curveball, and changeup. And then on the other side, it's Caden Eschman, a transfer to Kentucky from Northern Kentucky. The lefty throws a low 90s fastball, a curveball, a cutter, a slider, and is looking to add a changeup. So it's power on finesse today. Chatham with that power and the finesse coming from Falmouth. Almost ready to get going here from Veterans Field as time ticks down. The American flag flying out in right field. And now for your public address announcer, Peter Burns.
Please rise for tonight's national anthem. Singing tonight's national anthem is a Chatham Anglers National Anthem singer veteran Ashley Stracco, a sophomore at the College of Holy Cross in Worcester, Mass. She's a biology major and business ethics minor. At Holy Cross, she's involved in student government as the president of her class. She also participates in admission, a cappella choir, and many community service initiatives. Ashley and her family are huge Anglers fans and are so excited for this coming season. With tonight's national anthem, Ashley Stracco.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the brave and the home of the brave?
Another spectacular rendition of the national anthem by Ashley Stracco. Ashley, you did a great job starting us off for the season. Thanks again to Ashley Stracco.
First pitch after this.
To the Chatham Fire Department for the big flag in center field. CFD helping us stay safe 365. Thank you, Chatham Fire Department.
Anglers Extra. Chatham on TRC. Cape Cod.
Year after year, Cape Cod League Baseball and Chatham Bars Inn have been synonymous with summer on Cape Cod. The inn has offered clam bakes, beachside barbecues, and oceanfront dining since 1914. The new Beach House restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Visit Chatham Bars Inn at www.chathambarsinn.com. Chatham Bars Inn and Cape Cod Baseball. Summer fun for the whole family.
Chatham A's Baseball is on the air right now.
Swings and hits one to left center field. Back goes McFadden. He will not get there. It's a home run. A grand slam for Todd Frazier.
Chugging into second base with an RBI double is Evan Longoria. He is 4 for 4.
Hit on the ground, left side. Will it get through? Off Crawford and into center field. Federovic scores and Chatham wins it in 11. The game-winning hit from Seager. It's a 5-4 Chatham winner.
And now, with your play-by-play, Jake Klein and Hudson Ridley.
It's finally time for Anglers Baseball at Veterans Field. JT Quinn, the big right-hander, warming up on the mound. Chatham in all whites today. Blue cap with the red bill, those blue pinstripes on the jerseys. On the other side, Falmouth, all blacks, gray pants, though, with maroon numbers on the back. The Commodores and Anglers facing off in the inaugural game of the 2025 Cape Cod Baseball League season. The first batter to start us off is Carl Schmidt. Third baseman from Cal stands into the righty's batter's box, slides back and forth, grazing the chalk, kicking up just a little bit on a beautifully chalked line by the Chatham grounds crew. JT Quinn, the righty, comes set. Kicks and deals. First pitch taken for a strike at the bottom of the zone at 7:02. It's 58 degrees and cloudy. Your time and temperature presented by the Chatham Athletic Association. Schmidt back in for the 0-1. The pitch just below the zone. Fastball clocking in at 96 miles an hour. That is the bread and butter early in the count for JT Quinn. Back-to-back fastballs. Touts his mid-80s slider, though, as his put-away pitch. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. It was that slider, 87 miles an hour, broke away from the bat of Carl Schmidt, who comes into this game technically on a 7-game hit streak, finished the year at Cal on that 7-game streak, but all with a metal bat.
I don't know if that counts.
Now he has to do it with wood, Jake. The 1-2. Takes just below the knees and outside. Has worked the count to 2-2. JT Quinn, coming off a breakout year with the University of Georgia, struggled early on at Ole Miss, but really found his stride with the Bulldogs. 2.75 ERA. He fires the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Dropped in the dirt, scooped up, and the throw over to first by Noah Miller. One down in the top of the first. The defensive alignment for Chatham: Daniel Jackson in left field with Henry Ford in center and Jackson Freeman in right. Then around the diamond from third to first, it's Travis Sanders at third, Isaiah Lane at short, Ethan Mendoza at second base, and Jake Hanley at first with Noah Miller with the catching duties. Adrian Lopez, the righty from USC, stands in. First pitch from Quinn is a called strike. Again with the slider, it's a pretty deadly mix, Jake.
Hey, he's got the ability to pitch backwards if he wants. Start with the breaking stuff, finish with the fastball, or he can go at you traditionally.
Shakes off Miller a couple times before deciding on his 0-1 pitch. Here it comes. Bounces in the dirt, skips off the mask of Miller. Blocked behind the dish, it moves to 1-1.
One of the things about Dennis Cook, and I think Falmouth will probably be one of the teams that uses the pitch comm. You're not going to see that on a Dennis Cook team. This is going to be a catcher flashing signs and a pitcher shaking off.
It is old school as it gets. 1-1 count, 1 gone. Top of the first, still no score on opening day. The pitch popped up right side, foul territory, drifting against the wind on the right side, and it falls over on the grass by the picnic tables, just beyond right field. 1-2 to Adrian Lopez. Coming off a season at USC, that's Southern California, that is. The 952 OPS. The 1-2. Quinn pauses a while, messing with the timing, now fires. Swing and a dribbler over to second. Picked up by Mendoza. The throw on a first is in time. So quickly, 2 up, 2 down for JT Quinn. A strikeout to his name as well. And it brings up Kent Schmidt. Now, Jake Kent Schmidt, no relation to Carl Schmidt. I know what you might be thinking. 2 Schmidts. They play the corners of the infield.
And the giveaway is one from Cal, one from Georgia Tech.
Opposite sides of the country there, although anything is possible now. Still no score, top of the first. 2 gone. In front of Kent Schmidt, first pitch strike. Slow breaking curveball from JT Quinn. Quinn does feature a changeup, although he almost never throws it. His 3 pitches being that fastball, slider, curveball mix. The 0-1. Swing and a bouncer over to Mendoza. Fields it. Sidearm throw is in time. And 1, 2, 3 go the Commodores. JT Quinn working quickly early on and really getting his way early, Jake.
Certainly was. Just about as easy an inning as you could ask for if you're Chatham to start the season.
Certainly was, but now it's the hitting side of things, and you couldn't ask for a better 3. Ethan Mendoza, Jake Hanley, and Henry Ford to bat for Chatham when we come back.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on GRC.
Welcome back to Veterans Field. Hudson Ridley alongside Jake Klein. 1, 2, 3 went the Falmouth Commodores in the top of the first. So it's time for Chatham to get its first hacks of the season. Ethan Mendoza, the second baseman from Texas, to lead things off against Caden Eschman, a right-hander from Northern Kentucky. Mendoza digs in his back right foot on the back line of the righty's batter's box. First pitch from Eschman. High fastball, just misses. 1-0 the count. That quick 1-2-3 from Quinn did feature a strikeout in the mix, striking out the first batter of this season as time is called, and that gives us time to look at our defensive alignment presented by Short and Sweet Ice Cream. In the outfield, John Smith, Micah New, and Antonio Morales from left to right. Around the diamond from third to first, Carl Schmidt, Adrian Lopez, Justin Osterhaus, and Kent Schmidt, with David McCann getting the starting catching duties today for the Commodores. Eschman finally on the 1-0, fires in strike one. Back-to-back fastballs for the right-hander. Throws that pitch 66% of the time, 6 foot 190 pounds, transferring to Kentucky. Next pitch bounced in the dirt, skipping off the chest protector. It's 2-1 for Mendoza. Lights on and a chilly day at Veterans Field. The big American flag at the Chatham Fire Station blowing from right to left. The 2-1 pitch. Thought about a swing upstairs. It's taken for a ball. Appeal down the first base line. No swing, says Ryan DeMari. Home plate umpire Michael Hinahos. Third base umpire Joe Gravino. 3-1 count to Ethan Mendoza. Still no score, bottom of the first. Pitch is upstairs, ball 4. To the first batter of the year. Gets a free pass, 90 feet, over to first base.
And innings in the Cape Cod Baseball League that start with a leadoff walk typically bode well for the offense.
Especially with what Chatham has coming next. The next two batters, Jake Hanley and Henry Ford, two of the biggest power hitters in this Chatham lineup. Hanley stands in from the left side. Eschman's first pitch to him is taken for strike one, right down the middle. Hanley is a massive figure. 6'6", 235. Starting at first base today, the freshman of the year in the Big Ten. The 0-1 pitch. Low and away. Count knotted at 1 ball, 1 strike. No one gone in a 1-1 ball game, rather no score ball game. Bottom of the first inning. Mendoza with a leadoff at first. The 1-1 clips the edge. It's 1-2. Hanley's walk to strikeout ratio pretty good for a freshman at Indiana. 33 walks to 45 Ks. From the stretch, the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The announcers jinx strikes, and Hanley walks back to the dugout on a K.
Eschman doesn't throw hard, only 91, 92 so far with that fastball, but when he starts you with back-to-back breaking balls, he can make 91 look a lot faster.
When he pitches backwards against a freshman, it's almost unfair that the grad student pulls that on him. Up next, Henry Ford in the righty's batter's box. First pitch from Eschman way above the zone, and that's hard to do. Ford, another massive guy, 6'5", 220. Number 1 player in the transfer portal, leaving Virginia. The 1-0. Inside and high. It's ball 2. Ethan Mendoza over on first. Still no score, bottom of the first. 1 gone after the strikeout from Jake Hanley. Eschman plants left in front of right, kicks and deals, and Ford swings and misses. 2 balls, 1 strike to Ford. Someone who, if you listen to the Anglers Extra pregame show, you would have heard has spent his entire life in Charlottesville. The 2-1. Swing and a pop-up right side, drifting foul, and it'll make its way into the trees.
Yeah, the draft-eligible sophomore, somewhat of a rarity. It puts him in a fascinating position.
He turns 21 on July 27th, making him eligible for the draft. 2-2 count. The pitch. Gets him at the knees, strike 3. Slow breaking curveball. And it's back-to-back Ks for Caden Eschman. And Jake, you're right. When he can speed you up and slow you down like that, it's really no fair.
That's a legit curveball as well.
It certainly is.
Probably the best pitch.
Nearly 2,800 rotations per minute. Isaiah Lane standing in from the right side. The cleanup hitter swings and misses at the first pitch. Strike 1. 2 gone in the bottom of the first. Still scoreless at Veterans Field. Ethan Mendoza with a leadoff at first after drawing a leadoff walk. Then back-to-back strikeouts have us in this position. 0-1 count to Lane. The pitch just high. You can hear a groan from possibly some visiting Falmouth fans making the trip out on a cold day in Chatham.
There's a question of whether or not baseball would be played here on opening day earlier today.
1-1. Taken at the knees, strike 2. And right now, Caden Eschman has been toying with the last 2 hitters. Mendoza the only one to see him correctly. A ball and 2 strikes, 2 gone, and a runner on first base. Still scoreless, bottom of the first. The check on Mendoza. The throw was lollipopped over. Mendoza back in plenty of time. No stolen bases in his first season of college baseball, but then 15 last year at Texas. The 1-2, swing and a miss. 3 straight Ks for Caden Eschman. Sits down the Anglers after a leadoff walk. The 3 true outcomes in full force in the first inning. Still 0-0 score after 1 inning of play. Plenty more to come. You're not going to want to miss it on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod. What I want, you've got, and it might be hard to handle, but like a flame that burns a candle, the candle feeds the flame. Yeah, what I got, full stock of thoughts and dreams to scatter. When you pull them all together, and how can explain? Oh yeah, well you make my dreams come true.
Hi, this is JT Quinn from the University of Georgia. You're listening to Chatham A's Baseball with Jake Klein and Hudson Ridley on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
JT Quinn, thank you very much. And he's been dealing, at least through 1 inning of play. Picked up a strikeout on the first batter of Chatham's Cape League season. Then 2 groundouts to Ethan Mendoza at second for a 1-2-3 inning to begin the game. Then Chatham struck out 3 times in a row after a leadoff walk from Mendoza. So still 0-0 as we enter the top of the second. Alongside Jake Klein, I'm Hudson Ridley. David McCann, the cleanup hitter from Virginia Tech, standing in from the left side. It'll be McCann, New, and Smith to face Quinn. The first pitch from the righty. Swing and a high fly ball, towering into left field. Over goes Daniel Jackson, and it's off his glove in left. Striding into second goes David McCann, and that's an error.
Certainly is, Hudson. We talked about it with Dennis Smith before the game, or Dennis Cook, I should say, the Chatham manager, Daniel Jackson is not a left fielder by trade. He's a catcher, and Chatham has 3 catchers on its roster.
Sometimes they say if you have 3 catchers, you have none. That really is not the case.
But only 2 outfielders.
But when you have 3 catchers and 2 outfielders, and one of your catchers may not be an outfielder. Daniel Jackson with a potentially costly E7 to put McCann on second base. He takes a leadoff in front of Mike Anu, the center fielder from Marshall. Quinn's pitch draws a swing and a miss on a slider.
And worth noting also, the wind really whipping. That big flag out in right center from the Chatham Fire Department was pulling hard from right field towards left. You can see the same with the flag in center.
It is a fairly short porch in right field, only 314 feet down the right field line. The 0-1 skips in the dirt and gets away from Miller. Knocks off the netting of the backstop, and McCann gets a free 90 feet up to third. So just like that, what should have been an out to begin this frame is all of a sudden turned on to a runner on third with nobody gone, and a 1-1 count to Mike Anu. Still scoreless, top of the second, nobody gone. Quinn with a long look in before coming set. Kicks and deals. Slider tails in for a called strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes for Quinn. Mike Anu, the senior from Marshall, heading into his senior year. Previously on New Orleans this past season. The 1-2 way outside. Tried to get New to chase. In his last season with New Orleans, 14 home runs, 46 RBIs for New. Stands all the way in the back of the box. Miller set up outside. The 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. And a big strikeout at that for JT Quinn.
Runner on third, less than 2 outs. Only 2 things you cannot do as a hitter. Can't strike out, can't pop up, and new Ks.
Very true. John Smith standing in, the right-handed hitter. Hands on the bottom of his bat. Takes a look at strike 1 at the knees. 96-mile-an-hour fastball from Quinn. John Smith started his career at Pensacola State, now at South Alabama. Getting the start in left field today. The 0-1 below the zone, knots the count at a ball and a strike. Scoreless in the top of the second, 1 gone. Runner on third is David McCann after a leadoff error got him to second, and a wild pitch from Quinn moved him up to third. The 1-1. Half-hearted swing. No call on a strike. Moves to 2-1 the count. Miller thought he might have had him. Froze with his hand out for just a moment. The 2-1 pitch. Called strike. Quinn has been working the bottom of the zone. Smith chokes up a little. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back big strikeouts for JT Quinn. Holding the runner at third. He just has to get through 1 more.
Massive for JT Quinn, but on the other side, if you're Jared Saltalamakia and his coaching staff, I think it's safe to say you're looking for some smarter situational hitting than he just got.
He needs that from Justin Osterhaus. Starting second baseman today for the Commodores. First pitch from Quinn is swung on and missed. A massive cut from Osterhaus. 97 miles an hour, touching the top of the range for JT Quinn. Scoreless in the top of the second, 0-1 count, 2 gone. McCann on third base. The 0-1. Taken outside for a ball. Osterhaus on his way to Alabama. Announced it a week ago today, leaving North Florida. Joins a middle infield pairing with Justin LeBron, one of the best players in the country. The 1-1. Half-hearted swing. Did he go around? The appeal down the third base line says he did. Joe Gravino working down that line today, and it's 1-2. JT Quinn a strike away from getting out unscathed after a leadoff error and a ball dropped and left by Daniel Jackson. The 1-2. Taken low and away. Two's wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Quinn signaling with Noah Miller. Has 7 seconds to fire. Now he comes set with 5. Kicks and deals with 4. Skips in the dirt. And it's ball 3 as it's blocked by Miller. High leverage at bat early in the game. A chance for Justin Osterhaus to drive in the run with McCann on third. Full count, 2 gone. Wind picking up, whipping out to left field. The payoff pitch. Drops in for strike 3. 3 straight strikeouts. JT Quinn is dealing. Chatham escapes a big problem situation. A leadoff error and no problem. Still a scoreless ball game as we head to the bottom of the second on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod.
Welcome back to Veterans Field. Scoreless ball game after 3 frames. Bottom of the second coming at you on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Hudson Ridley alongside Jake Klein. And it's Daniel Jackson who stands in for his first hacks of the season. Not as a Chatham Angler, returning from the end of last year's team, but is looking to redeem himself. Had an error in the top of the second that nearly cost some runs. First pitch from Eschman is a called ball just outside. Jackson had it all the way in left field, let it skip off his glove, but defensively, he's not a left fielder, he is a catcher. The 1-0. Off the glove of David McCann behind the plate, still a cold strike. Not an overpowering righty in Caden Eschman, but did pick up 3 straight strikeouts to end the bottom of the first. The 1-1. Low and away, ball 2. Following Daniel Jackson It's Jackson Friedman and then Noah Miller. 5, 6, and 7 in this Anglers order. The 2-1. Taken at the knees, strike 2.
Daniel Jackson did play 20 games as an outfielder for Georgia this past season. Really his first outfield experience of his collegiate career, though. So a relatively new outfielder.
Still more used to that catcher position. The 2-2 skips in the dirt and off the foot of Daniel Jackson. So that's a way to make up for an error, get hit by a pitch. 390 feet over to first. And Chatham has now gotten back-to-back leadoff batters on. That brings up the lefty, Jackson Freeman. Jackson with a long leadoff at first. The first pitch to Freeman. Thought about swinging, instead takes strike 1. Still scoreless. Bottom of the second. Nobody gone and a runner on first. It's Jackson. The 0-1. Below the zone, gets away from McCann, has to chase it down just in front of the Chatham script, but he does so to hold Daniel Jackson at first base. Jackson Freeman at the dish, starting in right field today. 11 home runs this past season at Northwestern. The 1-1. Swing and a high fly ball to left field. Sends Smith back to the warning track and makes the catch just in front of the track for out number 1.
Probably the loudest out of the day, certainly on the Chatham side, but just probably 10, 15 feet shy of the 340-foot fence out there.
Didn't have to make the left fielder John Smith work too hard, but put some good wood to ball that time. That brings up Noah Miller from the right side. Taking off for second is Jackson. The throw down, not in time. Jackson beats it with a head-first slide. It's the first stolen base of the season. That pitch was a called ball. So a 1-0 count to Noah Miller. Pitch on the way, bounced in the dirt. And now Eschman has had a couple skip just in front of David McCann behind the dish. The battery not yet on the same page, still early. The 31st pitch was a called strike. Leaning on that fastball. Low 90s from the right-hander. Eschman comes set. Kicks and deals. Outside, and McCann had to stretch to make the grab. Eschman from Northern Kentucky entered the portal during the season. Ended up committing to Kentucky, so really not going too far. 3-1 pitch. Swing and a drive to left field. Smith underneath it, and he makes the grab on a line drive. 2 back-to-back loud outs for the Anglers, but still no production.
95 off the bat from Noah Miller. It's as good a swing as we've seen on really any ball all day for either side.
Back-to-back good swings from Freeman and Miller, both ending up in the glove of John Smith in left. That brings up Cole Johnson from the right side. A-Sun Freshman of the Year at Austin Peay. 2 gone and scoreless in the bottom of the second. The pitch from Eschman, swing and a foul to the backstop, slams off the brick and nearly hits the ball boy. has to reposition himself behind the screen. Manager's helping him do so. Boy, that was a hot shot backwards.
And Jarrett Saltolomakia checking in on his bat boys there behind the screen, and they get a fist pump from the assistant coach as well.
In theory, the ball can still skip behind the screen. That was the problem in the first place. The 0-1. Another swing, but this time a miss. Quickly 0-2 to Cole Johnson, who steps out and readjusts. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone, and a runner on second. The pitch. Upstairs. No thought given to it by Cole Johnson. Johnson in the designated hitter spot today. Chatham only with 10 position players coming in. The 1-2, foul back to the screen again. Fighting to stay alive.
And Dennis Cook acknowledged before the game, 10 position players is a concern for him. There will be more coming, but for at least the first 2 days, 1 off the bench. And for now, that's Duncan Matthews, catcher from South Alabama.
1-2. Upstairs again. Count worked to 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone. A runner on second is Daniel Jackson after stealing that bag earlier in the frame. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Dropped strike 3. The throw down to first in time. The 4th strikeout for Caden Eschman, and we're only through 2. Still no score for either side. Back and forth, trading blows on the pitching side of things. We could be in for a low-scoring duel. Caden Eschman working well. JT Quinn doing the same on the other side. You'll hear him next on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
All playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
In other places, but the horns, they blowing that sound.
No score at Veterans Field after 2 innings of play. Both pitchers dealing. JT Quinn coming off of 3 straight strikeouts to end the top of the second, is back for the top of the third and facing Coleman Mizell. First pitch to Mizell, a called strike on the outer half. Starting off with the curveball. Mizell followed by Antonio Morales, and then the lineup turns back over for Carl Schmidt. The 0-1 pitch. Taken for strike 2. Quickly out ahead of the count. Followed the curveball with a fastball, starting pitching backwards against Mizell. Designated hitter today from Alabama. The 0-2. Called strike 3. 4 straight Ks for JT Quinn. Boy, he is getting everything he wants right now, Jake.
Sure is. And Hudson, we've got the makings of a good old-fashioned Cape League pitchers duel on opening day.
I love it. Cold weather. Bats are cold.
And it is the first wood bat play in a while for all these guys.
True. Don't get that metal bat luxury. First pitch, a called strike to Antonio Morales. Another one of the players who decided to enter the portal this offseason, made the move from Maryland to Wake Forest.
Just yesterday.
Yes. Big news for Morales, who finds himself in the 9-hole today, starting in right field. The 0-1 skipped in the dirt off the glove of Miller into the backstop. It's 1-1. No score. Top of the third. One gone, nobody on, and a 1-1 count to Antonio Morales. Quinn decides on a pitch and fires. Ground ball right side, scooped up by Hanley. The flip on to Quinn, he beats him to the bag for out number 2.
Hudson, that's not an easy play for Jake Hanley and JT Quinn to team up on. Hanley at first going to his right. Quinn gets right over there for the flip. They practiced that. Chatham practiced that in his last practice on Veterans Field last night. They practiced bunts, they practiced PFPs. That's stuff that not all Cape League teams do in the couple of days of practice before the season. Dennis Cook took the time, and it pays off right away.
Yeah, not at all, and they didn't get to practice earlier today. No infield, outfield, no BP. First pitch to Carl Schmidt, draws a swing and a miss on a slider at 86. The rain caused for there to be no BP on the field. Chatham still did take batting practice in the cage, but much less intense for an opening day. 2 gone. The 0-1. Swing and a miss again, and that time he made him look silly. Knee to the ground, another slider low and away. Yuck. Four strikeouts so far from Quinn, 1 strike away from number 5. The pitch. He gets it. Strike 3. JT Quinn, electric. Scoreless. Through 2.5, we go to the bottom of the third. Chatham turning it over for the meat of the lineup. Travis Sanders leading it off in the 9-hole. Then it'll be Mendoza and Hanley. You're not going to want to miss it on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Back at Veterans Field for the bottom of the third. A good old-fashioned pitcher's duel. 0-0 the score, and 9-1-2 due up for the Anglers. Travis Sanders standing in. It'll be Sanders, Mendoza, and Hanley, the 3 to hit for the A's. Third baseman from Baylor to face the righty Caden Eschman. He fires in strike 1. Sanders this past year at Baylor, a .355 hitter. The 0-1. Swing and a foul back to the screen. 0-2. Even with the cold, still a sizable opening day crowd at Veterans Field. Plenty on the outfield grass, rather the hill behind the outfield fence. And in the lower bowl, nearly all full. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Caden Eschman, and that's his 5th. So combined between both teams, 10 strikeouts between Eschman and Quinn so far. The only ways players have reached base so far, a walk, a hit by pitch, and an error. Mendoza stands in, first pitch skips in the dirt for ball 1.
So you're telling me no perfect games?
No, sadly no. But the no-hitter watch is still on, technically for both teams, although about as early as you could really get it. Mendoza did draw a leadoff walk, the 1-0, taken inside. 2 balls and no strikes. After Mendoza, though, 3 straight strikeouts. It was Hanley, Ford, and Lane to end that bottom of the first. The 2-0 swung on and missed. Fastball low. Had Mendoza reaching and just a little bit behind. Ethan Mendoza just coming off his first season at Texas. 2-1, cut on and missed again. And now he adjusts his gloves a little bit. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the third, scoreless at Veterans Field. The pitch fouled off on a check swing, right side. And for a ball that Mendoza did not mean to go around on, exit speed still at 72 miles an hour, he made solid contact. And you could hear the crack of the bat. 2-2 count, 1 gone. The pitch. In the dirt, escapes McCann, but no runners on base, so it just runs the count full. The pitch count for Eschman significantly higher than Quinn. He'll throw his 49th in a full count. Here it is, swung on and tipped into the glove of David McCann. That's strike 3, and the 3rd straight strikeout. So the Anglers have struck out 6 times. The Commodores, 5. Still no hits between either team. Jake Hanley steps in with 2 outs, nobody on, and scoreless. First pitch swinging, fouled off left side. Hanley struck out his first time up in an 0-1 count. Eschman fires way high. Curveball just slipped out of his hand, escaped him. It really, there was no other option. McCann had to spring up and sky to grab it. Runs the count to 1-1. Eschman kicks and deals. Swing and a foul tip. Chatham in jeopardy of striking out 4 straight times between the 2nd and 3rd innings. 1-2 pitch, low and inside. And Jake Eschman has really either been pinpoint today or erratic.
Yeah, I mean, those only 2 base runners for Chatham. The leadoff walk to Mendoza in the first, the leadoff hit by pitch of Jackson in the second. That's it. Basically, everyone else has struck out.
Now he's a strike away from striking out this side. Bounced right side, scooped up, and steps on the base. Kent Schmidt does, and that ends the frame. 1-2-3 goes Chatham, and still a scoreless ball game through 3 innings of play. Well, that'll do it for me for just a moment. We'll have Jake Klein on the mic on the other side. And Jake, you better hope we get some extra hitting and offense here.
Strikeouts galore. 6 on the Falmouth side, 6 on the Chatham side.
Boy, 12 combined, still no hits. This is Cape Cod Baseball, and you're listening to it on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's, Chatham on TRC.
Welcome back to Veterans Field. Still a scoreless ball game as we enter the top of the fourth. And now on your play-by-play, it's Jake Klein.
All right, Hudson. Time for the top of the fourth at Veterans Field. Both sides hitless in a scoreless game as we go to the middle innings. J.T. Quinn, the Chatham righty, against Adrian Lopez, the righty hitting Falmouth shortstop from USC. Quinn's first pitch is a changeup down and away. Check swing, but no swing, says first base umpire Ryan Damari. A ball and no strikes. Lopez grounded out to second to Ethan Mendoza, his first at bat of this Cape League season. In the back of the righty box against the hard-throwing righty. 1-0, slow breaking ball waved at and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike on Adrian Lopez. Quinn has mixed it up. He's dialed that fastball all the way up to 97, 98 a couple of times already. 77 on the bender there. 1-1, another breaking ball. This one a little firmer, 85, but down and away. He's got the harder slider and the slow curve. More 12-6. Right on right. Quinn from the stretch with nobody on. 2-1. Caught on and missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Another breaking ball. Slider. Just clipped the bottom outside part of the zone as Lopez waved over it. Quinn sets. Ready for a 2-2. He deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The 7th strikeout for J.T. Quinn, and he has now K'd 6 of the last 7 Commodore hitters.
All on sliders. I mean, it's really unbelievable. You know what's coming, especially if you're a righty. He's got the hand in his advantage. He's been going to the slider all day, and they cannot touch it or lay off of it.
Exclusively breaking balls in that at bat against Lopez, who's now 0 for 2. And it brings up Kent Schmidt, lefty hitting first baseman. First pitch, fastball, catches the inside corner, called a strike. It's 0-1. Schmidt 0 for 1, grounded to second in the first. Ended a 1-2-3 inning for Quinn. Right against left. Quinn on the first base side of the mound. He deals. Another fastball, another called strike. Quickly 0-2 on the lefty hitting Kent Schmidt. A brisk night at Veterans Field. Wind has calmed a little bit, still blowing gently from right to left. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. So he goes all breaking balls and strikes out Lopez. Then he goes 3 straight fastballs and strikes out Schmidt. J.T. Quinn just toying with Falmouth.
I mean, this is a clinic right now. And you can say the same about Eschman
You can.
on the other side as well. Still no hits allowed from either side.
Brings up David McCann. lefty hitting catcher from Virginia Tech and the only player to reach third base tonight. First pitch from Quinn. Breaking ball nabs the bottom of the zone. Called a strike. It's 0-1. He got there when he hit a sky-high pop-up to shallow left that Daniel Jackson dropped, then moved to third on a wild pitch. Did not score as Quinn struck out the next three. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball, called a strike, bottom of the zone. McCann did not like the call, turns and grimaces toward the Falmouth dugout on the first base side. Quinn with a chance to strike out the side for the second time today. In a scoreless game, nobody on, 2 out. Here's the 0-2 to McCann. Fastball bounced up the middle, off the glove of Quinn, bounces to Mendoza at second. He sidearms to first in time and ends the inning. So Quinn does not strike out the side, but he does set down Falmouth 1-2-3. Commodores go down with no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. After 3.5, we are scoreless on opening day at Veterans Field. It's the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Welcome back to Veterans Field. Time for the bottom of the fourth in a scoreless, hitless contest between Chatham and Falmouth on this Cape League opening day. With Hudson Ridley, I'm Jake Klein, high above Diamond Side in Chatham, Massachusetts, as the A's come to bat in the bottom of the fourth, and they'll send Henry Ford, Isaiah Lane, and Daniel Jackson to the plate. 3, 4, and 5 hitters in Dennis Cook's order against the right-hander Caden Eschman, who is through 3 hitless innings with 6 Ks of Chatham. Right on right, first pitch, caught on and missed. Big swing from Henry Ford, but he waves through a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's 0-1. Eschman working quickly from the stretch. 0-1. Breaking ball hit hard, fair down the third base line. It rolls all the way toward the corner. Smith cuts it off. Ford turns first and jogs into second. He's got a double to lead off the bottom of the fourth, and the first hit of the game belongs to Henry Ford and Chatham.
He was swinging for the firehouse both times, was early both times, but just sat back enough to rip it down that left field line, and boy, he really got a hold of it. 96 miles an hour off the bat.
That ball rolled into the Chatham bullpen down the left field line. So the left side umpire, Joe Gravina, just huddled up with his fellow umpires near the mound just to double check, make sure second base was the right base to award Ford, and they confirmed that. So it is a double for Henry Ford. He's in scoring position with nobody out and the bottom of the fourth in a scoreless game. And it brings up the righty hitting shortstop Isaiah Lane. First pitch from Eschman, inside. Ball and no strikes. Lane 0 for 1 in the cleanup hole. Struck out swinging in the first. 1-0. Breaking ball down and away. 2 balls, no strikes on Lane. Lane was a relatively late addition to this Chatham roster. Had it only about a month ago. Was one of the first to arrive. 2-0. Fastball called a strike, low inside corner. Lane thought it was low. He got some words for Michael Hinojosa behind the plate as he steps out. It's 2-1. A San Diego Torero, team that was bounced in the WCC championship game. 2-1, up and away with a fastball. 3-1 on Lane. In the very back of the righty box, readies for a 3-1 from Eschman. Looks to second and deals. Cut on and missed. The count goes full on Lane. He gets an 88-mile-per-hour fastball right down the middle past him.
Yeah, it's not a lot of velocity, but it has been fooling hitters. A lot of guys are sitting early on it.
Nobody out, runner on second. Here's the 3-2. Fastball misses inside. It's a walk for Isaiah Lane, and Chatham has the first 2 runners on with nobody out in the bottom of the 4th, and here comes Daniel Jackson.
That's pretty momentous to crack it open. Leadoff double, you got 2 on, and now Falmouth may want to consider at least talking to Eschman, and they will.
Todd Carroll, the pitching coach for the Commodores, makes the slow walk out to the mound. He'll meet with his right-hander Eschman and the catcher David McCann. Carroll, a pitching coach at MIT. Had a fascinating season. MIT had a pitcher transfer to Tennessee after the 2025 college season.
It's a good sign, isn't it?
Well, if this Todd Carroll can develop Tennessee quality pitchers from a Division III school, I'd like him on my coaching staff.
Not just Division III, that's MIT.
So the meeting on the mound breaks up. Carroll walks back toward the first base side dugout, and Eschman readies to face Daniel Jackson. Bottom of the 4th, it's a scoreless game. Chatham has runners on first and second with nobody out. Right-on-right matchup between Caden Eschman and Daniel Jackson, who was hit by a pitch his first time up. First pitch is popped foul, straight back behind home plate and out of play. It's 0-1. Biggest spot of the game so far for either side. First time either team has had 2 runners on in a single inning. Eschman's 0-1. Caught on and missed. 85. But Jackson didn't seem to make up his mind on whether to swing until the ball was past him. And now behind 0-2. Lefty hitting Jackson. Freeman waits on deck. Eschman looks back to second from the stretch. He deals 0-2. High. Missed with a fastball, 1-2. Big right-hand hitter. Saunters out of the righty box towards Chatham's third base dugout and backs into the righty box. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball high. Jackson nearly pulled the trigger. Twitched the hit.
Jackson, who has a lot of home run pop, 14 home runs in his 29 hits at UGA. Sometimes you just want to take big hacks.
He certainly wanted it. And now the lefty, Jackson Freeman, in. First pitch is a breaking ball inside. Connor Lynn is the lefty up in the Falmouth pen. 2 on for Chatham with 1 out. Here's the 1-0. Fastball bounced slowly up the first base line, gobbled up by Schmidt. He steps on first to retire Freeman. The runners do advance.